Hello, this is Kaustubh Patekar, founder of the ProdZen. And today I am joined by Rahul Ahmad. Rahul is a content and communications expert. Welcome, Rahul.
Thank you.
So, Rahul, I think you have a very interesting background. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do and your journey?
So yes, I currently am a content communications consultant, and I advise small and large companies and businesses in terms of how they should promote their products and services through various communication and content channels. My journey has started actually in journalism after I did a master's in multimedia, what it was known at the time, in England, way back in 2001, and worked then in the new media space, as it was called then, with Hindustan Times in Delhi and subsequently in Khaleej Times in Dubai, where I helped create news content for their online platforms. I fell into then real estate in Dubai. The two words go hand in hand, and worked with JLL, the large American multinational, creating market research and marketing communication content for the Middle East real estate market. I took a year off after that to do something which I was very passionate about, which was film, and studied Prague Film School for 1 year, understanding visual communication and moving image and the techniques of filmmaking. This then led me back to India, where I worked in marketing communications, in animation as a scriptwriter, advertising with Saatchi and Saatchi, and on the client side with IBM. Currently, what I do besides helping clients with content and communication strategies, I also lecture at the Symbiosis School International Studies, and I teach the master's students the international communication module and how communication shapes our world today.
Excellent. I think you've been around the world learning and working. It's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what is content marketing? Everybody's talking about content marketing. It's the thing you got to do. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what that is and why should product companies care?
So essentially, yes, it's a term that we see and hear now so often. Sometimes people are confused about what it actually means. Essentially, it's two words which have been put together. Probably a content marketer did that. First of all, it is not a new way of marketing. It's just being used now because of the advent of digital platforms and technologies which have taken over our lives in terms of content dissemination. Essentially, what it is using content, and that could be textual in terms of collateral, that could also be graphical, audio, visual, moving image, any type of content. So it's not just a written word, but it is what content is and is encapsulated, how that is then distributed, promoted, pushed through various channels, avenues, and platforms in a very specific and focused manner to determine what that specific target group or audience or possible customer would be interested in consuming. So essentially, there is a huge science behind doing it. So it is not just the creation of the content, which is a large part of it, but also deciding what type of content suits what channel, and then what type of customer would be the most beneficial to receive that content.
Okay. Very interesting. You are going to do a session which expands on content marketing and how it can be good to use. So why don't you tell our audience a little bit more about what to expect from the session and what can they get out of it?
So yes, I'm excited to be participating in the Firestarter program and looking at content marketing and why it is so important. Essentially, for B2B companies, the idea is to get your brand out there, your products, and who you are out there in a very cutthroat and competitive environment, what can you do to stand out? So content marketing essentially helps you do two things. And one, depending on where you are in your journey, can help establish what works. It's almost called testing the waters. Does this product or this line of thinking even work? Are my customers resonating with this? Almost like a teaser, sticking your toe in the water to help gauge where people are and where there are potentials for amendments. So without having to reinvent the wheel, you can have a fair idea of what um, the consumers, buyers are looking at in terms of where you are placed, vis-a-vis how they look at you. The other direct example is that obviously this help build your awareness of your brand. You can also use it as a selling tool to help generate leads, capturing an audience, understanding different target groups, what works, possibly understanding markets, geographies, and how certain content may differ in terms of who, where, and how you are capturing those potential leads.
Excellent. I mean, that sounds quite exciting. I think I look forward to the session. Thank you.
Thank you.